Hi guys, and welcome back to another tank review on the 8.8 test server footage. And today we're actually looking at something that's rather unique. Now at first glance you probably think that this is a Panzer III or a Panzer IV. It's not. It's actually the DWII 2. And I hope I pronounced that properly. I hope I didn't insult someone's mother. But this is the first German Tier 4 heavy in the history of World of Tanks as far as I know. And in order to get to this bad boy, let's look at the tech tree first. Here, it's right here underneath the Hetzer. So in order to get to it, there's only one way you can really get to it, and that's via the Panzer lineup. So you need to go to the Panzer II, then the Panzer IIIA, and it will set you back 5,020 research points and 170,000 silver. And the way you get to it is you have to unlock the turrets. And then you unlock the gun, and then boom, there she is. Oh no, wait, yeah, you can just unlock the gun, and then you unlock the tank. Now, it does share a lot of its equipment with other tanks. For example, the engine is shared by the 3001H and the VK2001D. The radio is actually shared with damn near everything else. It's typical German engineering. The turret, unfortunately, is only shared by this tank. Oh, yep, it's only shared by this tank. And the gun, of course, is shared by Panzerkampfers 4, VK3001, Panzerkampfer 3, the VK1602, the Leopard, the Lush. It's shared by a lot of tanks. Now, at first glance, now bear in mind, I haven't had any games whatsoever in this tank, none whatsoever. And you know what? Let's research that. There we go. So this tank's now elated. Now I haven't played a single game in this tank just yet, but I noticed just by looking at this tank, it does serve a lot of things in common with another tank that was recently introduced into World of Tanks, and that's the Excelsior. Now this Excelsior build I've got going is for slugging it out basically. Enhanced vertical coil springs, again because of the new update. The suspension now actually protects the chassis of your tank by 50% by reducing the damage caused by falling, so I think that's pretty cool. And the spore liner armor now gives you equal amount of protection for the crew. So for example, here you have a heavy spore liner that gives you 30% protection from ramming, explosions, and protection to crew from injuries. Now for the TOG 2, for example, that thing is 50% because it's a super heavy spore liner. So expect it to be a lot harder to kill, say, gunners and loaders, etc., in some of the higher tier Soviet tanks, like the KV-5, for example. So KV-5 drivers will be rejoicing at this, but let's get back to this tank. It's a rather odd tank. It's actually got the same armor all around, quite ironically. 50 in the front, 50 in the sides, 50 in the rear. Now, even the turret, once it's fully upgraded, is only 420 hit points, so it's roughly in the same ballpark as the Panzer III-4. It's tier 4 though, which is quite strange. Don't bother trying to think of angling, because look at this great big freaking flat I mean, it's basically a straight line. You've barely got maybe 2 degrees angling. Practically no angling on the front here, no angling on the sides. The only thing that has somewhat that resembles angling is the back plate on the engine, but even then it's majority flat plated. There's no angling design whatsoever. Again, if you're shot here, this will jam your turret. That was the problem with this actual turret design in World War II. Unfortunately, Germany found that out after their Tigers, the first generation of Tigers, Generation 1 Tigers, actually got their turrets jammed by Shermans, just by sheer amount of shells hitting the turret ring like that. And then they ended up designing the curved Tiger turret. So it tried to prevent the jamming system, but it still jammed every now and then. Now, one of the things I've noticed about this tank is it does get a rather odd selection of consumables. For example, it gets your typical premium, but it actually gets the octane gasolines, as you can see. It doesn't get you know, any of the engine overlocks like the Soviets do, or anything like that. But this does get the grommets, the additional grousers. 10% performance on soft ground, 5% performance on moderately soft ground. This tank can actually go its full speed of 35 km/h. Coaxial mounted machine gun, of course, will be this gun mantlet's weakness. If you have the accuracy, and this, of course, you know, the majority of these body is covered up, aim for the machine gun. High chances are you'll kill the gunner, the loader, or knock out the gun completely. Or, of course, you can always aim for the commander's vault. Now, this round thing here is actually a vent port. It let air breathe into the tank. Of course, you could probably penetrate. It may have a no hitbox on. I don't know this yet. The commander's view ports or the commander's cupola. It actually has a full commander's cupola. Here again is the emergency vent hatches. Also used later on for drastically increasing the amount of time shells could be loaded into a tank. Of course, your typical weaknesses is in the front. This whole great big front huge plate here, this huge plate here, the machine gun port here, and the driver's hatch. Now, I don't know what the matchmaker is on this tank. I really don't. But as you can see, I don't have a crew for it yet, or anything like that. I'm just showing you the tank stats-wise in the garage. So, let's get some more history on this. If my roommate doesn't shut up! Let's see. 420 hit points. Maximum tonnage is 33 tons. With a 300 horsepower engine, so it's barely, what? 1-to-1-ish ratio. So, it may be a little bit sluggish. It may be a little bit slow, but look at that turret traverse. 42 degrees. With a 32-degree traverse on the body. Now, what I find outstanding about this Tier 4 tank is it gets a Tier 9 radio. Yes, it gets a Tier 9 radio. It's a heavy, so it doesn't get the light tank camouflage rating. So don't even remotely think about throwing a camo net and the grousers and using this as a stationary scout. It may work for you, I don't know. But let's take a look at what sort of camouflage it gets. You know, your stereotypical German mostly. Yeah. And let's check the desert. Oh, very limited on the desert. Of course, your typical German emblems. And yep, it now actually has full German markings, which I think is pretty cool. What else about this tank? Again, it reminds me of similar to the Excelsior. By what I mean by that is if you look at the Excelsior's gun, and then we look at the best gun for this, notice something similar about these two tanks. Low pen, low damage, piss poor accuracy, god awful aim time. But the fire rate is ridiculous. This 5cm gun has double the fire rate of this 75mm gun. But then again, the 75mm gun is a 91mm pen. He'll just pen you every goddamn day. He won't even need to switch that to premium shells. He'll just pen you with his regular shells. Unfortunately, you're gonna have to use, very much like the Excelsior, you're gonna have to use premium shells. It's gonna be one of those tanks that if you want it to succeed, unless this thing gets tier 4 matchmaking. So the only thing I can think of is it gets preferred matchmaking. Again, I don't know, I haven't gotten to a game yet. But if this does get preferred matchmaking, that would alleviate some of the burden. However, if it doesn't, then you're kind of SOL. You'll be looking at tier 6. There is no way in God's green earth that this shell at point blank range at 84mm of penetration is going to even hurt a tier 6 heavy. None whatsoever. So, you know, again, hence that's why you got the premium shells. Because the premium at point blank, you know, 163, you're going to go through anything. Hell, you'd go able to go through tier 7s. At 98, you'd probably shoot an M6 in the rear. KV-1S you wouldn't have an issue with. KV-1s wouldn't have an issue with. KV-2s wouldn't have an issue with. French or ARL, I think you might have issues with. Again, I don't know. I don't play French. Let's recruit. Hey, mem. Yeah, I know. What? Recruiting? Yeah, no, I didn't want that. Fine. Again, see, even I make mistakes. I'll get to him in a second. Fear not. Fear not. So, and the radio operator. There hasn't been any new adds to skills. There we go. Max him out. Or anything like that. There's no new skills. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look. Leave the crew at 100% without any skill, but see where the tank lies as if you've just got the crew at 50%. So we're in queue. We're at tier 4. There's 8 already in queue with us. Tier 5, tier 6, tier 3s. No tier 2s. What do you expect? There's 4 tier 1s. This may take a while, guys. I may pause the video here or speed it on a little bit in Sony Vegas. Don't think we're gonna get to go into a game. Come on, matchmaker. There we go. Got into a game. Oh, and there's nothing but DWIIs. T50. So yeah, this should be typical test server. First things first, I will be loading premium. So first things first, I'm actually going to see how well it goes up that hill. So I'm going to head to Kilo 0 and try and get up that hill as fast as I can. Try and cut that loosh off. And everyone's rushing, so that doesn't help. Yay, thank you. Again, as you can hear, the crew are speaking German. Yep, there's been a new modelling rendering done on the flagpoles, as you can see, and the flags themselves. It looks like it does get preferred tier 4 matchmaking, but again, I can't tell because this is test server. There are too many people trying to muck about tier 10s and don't care about any of these other tanks. It's clear that that guy right in front of me over there has got advanced crew, because that or he's got the grommets, because he's just peeled off ahead. Oh, looks like we don't have to worry about bad leg in there. Oh, they found the artillery, and there's their first heavy. Again, don't fight harder, fight smarter. Remember that, guys. Don't fight harder, fight smarter. We've lost the T50. Again, view range on this tank's 50-50. I mean, I wouldn't say it's the best, but oh wow, scout tank killed a scout tank. There we go. Oh, there's a North American player right there. And there is their scout tank. Got him. Good shot, good shot. Again, I'm so used to having my right click as my zoom in, so please forgive me. Did lose our tank destroyer. I think we're going to have to look at maybe making this thing a little bit more mobile. Oh, ouch. As you can see, armor is not this thing's strong point. And those shots came from... Again, I'm playing it smart. Maybe use the foliage to give me cover. Again, guys, play smarter, not harder. It's basically my very first time in this tank, so you're witnessing the very first game. Okay, enemies been there.
Wirkungstreffer!
Doing the corner defense system. Not a bad play. Again, if forcing them out. Let's see what this thing can do. Rolling. Okay. Again, maybe in a platoon, these guys might do well. Apparently I penned but did no damage. Oh, you're freaking kidding me. They're both on the cap. Come on, guys, get up there, get up there, get up there. Yeah, this thing's definitely going to need the grousers if you want to be somewhat. Oh, good God, man. What do you have for a viewport? You're right freaking on top of him.
Wir haben sie nicht mal angekratzt.
Basically, that said that bounced.
Der ging nicht durch.
There we go, GG. Again, even with premium shells, it's not pay to win instantly. Didn't do too bad. Received maximum, yeah. That DWII got Steel Worn Defender. Nicely done, nicely done. What do I think of the tank? It's unique. You'd have to do a double take if you weren't paying attention to the target. You would honestly confuse this with a Panzer III or a Panzer III-4 or, you know, thereabouts, you know, especially with the stock turret. If you look at the stock turret for a second, see, you would definitely confuse it with a Panzer III with this turret. With the upgraded turret, I wouldn't say not so much. More a Panzer III-4. But yeah, guys, that's the that is the Duschburgerwagen 2, and yeah, it's an interesting tank. It's probably one I'm going to get in my collection and keep it for a while until I can get to the Tiger, and then that way I've got a crew that I can transfer up into the Tiger. So yeah. So I'm gonna leave this video here with a stay safe, have fun, keep your shells flying, keep your enemies dying. Cobra Commander is out. Look forward to seeing some more test video footage of the new Soviets. So yeah guys, thanks, peace and love.